I spent years trying a variety of different passive income strategies. I want to talk about here's the 7 best that I tried, starting from my least favorite to my most favorite. So be sure to hang to the end because these ones are pretty awesome. All right, so number 7, this one is not so much passive. This is like what some people would call passive. I definitely don't call it passive at all, which is network marketing. Now you might be surprised I bring that up, especially when I talk about investments all the time. Why did I bring up network marketing? Because the truth is I tried some of that stuff. And I've seen people be successful at network marketing. Most of the time, people don't know how to make it work because it is a legitimately hard business to make it in. So network marketing has a lot of different names. It could be multi-level marketing, MLM, or direct sales, things like that. But network marketing still is a legitimate way to make money. And yes, I've created passive income streams having memberships in different companies over the different years. Now, that's not something I put a lot of effort or really hardly any effort into at this point, but it was something that I did try to do, especially when I really needed cash. One of the great things is it's a low cost of entry, and if you put the right amount of work and stuff into it, you could actually create good income. So it's more of an active income, not so much passive, but it can create residual income streams that do last you a while. Number 6, stock trading. Again, now, many people don't know this, but I used to be a stock trader, right? I used to trade stocks and options and taught people how to do the same thing. And I saw firsthand what that really looked like. Because many people sell you on the dream, especially the people trying to pitch you on stock trading. They'll pitch it to you like, you basically just, click a few buttons on your computer, and then voila, you make a bunch of money in stocks. And that's just not reality. The reality is most people don't make money in stocks. It's a big gamble. In fact, I would tell all my clients when they came in to learn about how to trade stocks and options, I would say, listen, if you're doing this program, you're a gambler. And in fact, you're gonna be wrong most of the time. The key is how do we figure out how to reduce your risk, right? So stock trading is a legitimate way to do it, but I'll tell you this, it's still not as passive. I'll give you an example. I had a guy that actually reached out to me that taught people how to trade options. He had a program that he sold people online, sold it like crazy, made good money doing that. But then he came to me saying, Chris, here's the issue. I don't have any passive income. I have to wake up every morning. I have to get on my computer. And I'm getting kind of tired of it. I don't like the fact that I have to keep doing this over and over and over again. Can you teach me how to create passive income with for example, where I could be hands-off, how to babysit it? I can actually go out of town. I can even not have internet access and still make money. Can we do that? And my answer was yes, you can. And so stock trading can be a good way to do it. But I will tell you from my own experience, only a handful, very small percentage of people are successful doing this. It requires a crap load of discipline. It requires money, of course, right? And it's just something that's not for everybody. But it is one of those I would put in there it does work. All right, now we're getting to more of my favorites that are very hands-off investments. So number 5, oil and gas. I think oil and gas is a great one. Now, right now, oil prices are lower, so it's not cash flowing as well. So the passive income is there, but again, it's not as high as it has been in the past. But I do believe that prices will eventually go back up and you will see better returns. But right now, it's not as much. Now, there are some tax benefits with oil and gas. Depending on the kind of oil and gas investment you do, they usually have some kind of benefit. There's also, the good news is that it's diversified away from real estate, right? It's not reliant upon real estate investing. It's not in the stock market. It's its own deal. It's commodities. So it kind of gives you some more diversification. And now, here's what I have noticed. Oil and gas investments can take time to ramp up to pay you. So it may not create good, consistent passive income right away. I'm not saying it's a bad deal because, again, I've got money in oil and gas and I enjoy it. And that leads me to number 4, real estate syndications. Real estate syndications are any time where you pool your money with other investors. Usually you have to be what's called an accredited investor, where you either make over $300,000 a year or you have at least $1 million of net worth, not including your own home that you live in. Now, real estate syndications, you can go buy things in apartment buildings. It could be self-storage. It could be things like warehouses or commercial buildings. It could actually be car wash businesses. There's all kinds of syndications out there. They can pay you what's called a preferred return, where they'll pay you a certain amount every single quarter, not usually monthly, it's usually quarterly they pay you, that you'll get a return on. Understand this, though, is that they're not always able to do that. We've seen the last few years, especially apartment buildings, have gotten kicked in the teeth, especially when those interest rates skyrocketed. Those values of those real estate properties came down so significantly that a lot of people are stuck in these syndications, not earning any cash flow right now. Now, that's not always the case. Some of them have come out just fine and doing just fine because they were already cash flowing really well. But just be aware that, again, there's still risk in these. So even though it's backed by real estate, still you have to hope that the values hold. And with those high price things, they may not. Now, number 3, this might surprise you, but affiliate relationships, referral relationships, or becoming an affiliate can be a great way to create passive income. This is the best way, in my opinion, especially if you have no money. Now, if you have money, even better, you can do some cool things too. But in my situation where I didn't have really a whole lot of cash, I remember when I was starting to do real estate investing, one of the things that became accidental for me is that I realized I could actually refer people to a company. Because I did it accidentally at first. At first, I referred it to a mortgage company. I didn't want to have to do the mortgages anymore, so I referred it to a nerd to do the mortgages for me. And the next thing you know, I'm getting a paycheck. Now, I have to have a mortgage license to do that, right? So some cases, you can't always split those referral fees. I'll tell you, I created several $1,000s a month just from natural referral relationships with my friends and family for things that worked out well. I even did it with a wholesale jeweler. I did it with other people too. So there can be great affiliate relationships that you can create for things that maybe you're already referring to anyways. So understand that's a great way to go. 2, we're getting to our top 2 now. Real estate lending. Lending right now has been amazing, especially the last 3 years. Now, I'm not saying it's risk-free by any way, shape, or form, but it's so nice to know you can get cash flow by loaning your money to real estate investors, and then they've got to pay you the interest. And yes, they can be double-digit interest of 10+% a year. The great thing is, if they don't pay you, and if you set it up correctly, you can also have claim on the property. So if they stop paying you, if something goes wrong, at least you can get the property as collateral. You can't do that in the stock market. You can't say, hey, the market went down, I want to get collateral so that I get more than what I lost, maybe even make a gain on it. You can't do that in the stock market, right? No, real estate lending is great because you get a real asset that you're able to have as collateral, but they can also pay you great, strong cash flow. They can pay you way more than you would just being in the stock market. So that's one of my favorite right now, but it's not my favorite, but it's my short-term favorite, my more recent favorite for the last few years. I think is a strong favorite over time, but I would say the one limitation is you don't really get tax advantages with it. And that leads me to my number 1. This one I think works best long-term, not so much in the short term right now, but long-term over time, and with tax benefits and all the other kind of returns you get. This has been, I think, the real, the best, and that's turnkey real estate. Now, I know that a lot of people have been poo-pooing all over turnkey real estate because, let's be honest, higher interest rates have led to less cash flow. They're not cash flowing very well. You have to be very, very picky to find a property that's actually profitable even after you pay for the mortgage payment and all the other costs, especially when insurance costs have been going up lately and taxes are still going up too, right? All that stuff has been coming out, making it harder. And if you get a bad property manager, that's not good. Remember, turnkey real estate's not just buying a property next door. It's buying a property that could be anywhere in the U.S., but you get a property manager that manages the property for you. So you get to be hands-off, own the real estate, get all the benefits, get all the tax benefits you get from the depreciation and everything, but you get the cash flow, you get appreciation. And by the way, if you put 20% down, any kind of appreciation gives a 5x multiply factor, right? So for example, you have a 100,000 property, goes up 10%, and you put $20,000 down on that property, guess what? If it goes up 10%, it makes $10,000. Now you might think, well, that's still 10%, but no. If you put $20,000 down, and it goes up $10,000, you just made a 50% return, 5 times whatever that down payment was because you only put 20% down. This could be a great way to make wealth over time and also create great cash flow too. All right, if you like this, please like and subscribe to our channel, but also watch this next video about what's the easiest way to build wealth that actually works. This can help you set up a reliable system that beats any traditional financial plan every single time. Check that out right now.